Welcome to the Dunn Wisdom Show, where faith meets focus and wisdom meets real life. Each week, we sit down with change makers, trailblazers, and leaders who embody courage, integrity, and wisdom in action. I am your host, Melissa P. Dunn, and today we're talking about the power of purpose and what it truly means to live beyond your title or position. My guest, Retired Colonel Josefa Benjamin, is a woman who has broken barriers, led with excellence, and now lives fully in her divine calling. After 30 years of service with the Broward Sheriff Office, she has made history as the first African-American woman to serve as Executive Director of Detention and Community Programs. But when the uniform came off and she retired, her mission didn't end. She founded the Born on Purpose Project, a nonprofit helping people uncover and live their God-given purpose. From command to calling, from leadership to legacy, her story proves that purpose does not retire. So, my friends, settle in, take notes, and open your heart, because this conversation will remind you that purpose doesn't happen by accident. You were born with it. Colonel Benjamin, Josefa, my friend, welcome to the Dunn Wisdom Show.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
You know, I remember meeting you years ago, and at the time you were still a major, right?
I think I might have been a captain at the time.
You were a captain at the time, and I met you through, how did we meet?
Oh, I think through the Women of Distinction, through that process.
Yes, we met when I was on the board of the Lauderhill Chamber. Colleen Gutzmer was the executive director at the time, and you were one of our Women of Distinction.
Yes, that was 2016. I looked at that picture the other day.
Oh, wow, 2016. That's so amazing. So tell us about what's your origin story? How did you decide to step into law enforcement?
Well, I had a relative that was working there at the time as a deputy, and I'd recently relocated from Brooklyn, New York. Whoop, whoop.
Hello, the boogie down.
Exactly. And yeah, it was something that I wanted to do. I felt that it was an opportunity to help people, although I didn't fully understand at the time. I was still young, you know, in my early 20s. Started the sheriff's office actually as a 911 dispatcher. Didn't go right into corrections at the time.
Okay, so you decided to step forward into law enforcement, and you served 30 years.
Yes,
right?
That is correct.
So you went from 911 to, like, share with me your career journey.
Sure. So 911 is considered an entry-level position, and it's a civilian position. So I stayed as a 911 dispatcher for about 2 years before getting certified. Once I went through the academy, 2 years later, I went in was successful in the academy and went in as a deputy sheriff. That's an entry-level certified position. From entry-level deputy, you go to take a test and you go to sergeant.
Hello, come on, Sarge.
Right, exactly. That's your first intro into leadership. Exactly. Your scope expands a bit. You're now responsible for others, not just for yourself.
Right.
So from sergeant, you take another test and you're promoted to lieutenant if you're successful. From lieutenant, you go to executive lieutenant. You're chosen. You're selected at that point.
Wow.
From executive lieutenant, the next position is captain.
Which is when I met you. I
Correct.
met you at that stage in your life when you were a captain.
Yes.
So at that point, were you working in detention, or were you still working in, like, the regular unit?
Still in detention.
Okay.
Yes, still in detention. Always in detention. And from captain, you're selected again to major if you're successful. From major, it is lieutenant colonel. From lieutenant colonel, then you're promoted to colonel.
Wait a minute. So when we met in 2016, you were a captain, and so from there to when you retired, because I was at your retirement. When was that?
2023.
2023.
Yes.
So in the span of like a good 6 years, you went all of those ranks.
That is correct.
You are truly blessed and favored.
That is correct.
Truly blessed and favored.
Yes.
And then what did you have to, tell me a little bit about what the depth of your responsibility when you retired.
So I was in the colonel position for approximately 2 or 3 years, three years. And the responsibility of the colonel is you're overseeing budgets, you're overseeing operations, making sure that everyone is adhering to policy and procedure. Had a dynamic team of captains, majors, lieutenant colonels. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with you.
The buck stops with you.
You are my scope was a $336 million budget, one of the
Wow.
largest contracts in the county, our medical contract, approximately 3,000 employees under your command. And at the end of the day, corrections is a thankless job. So you have to make sure that you're keeping your folks motivated, that they're adhering to policy and procedure. You have to ensure that the inmates, the incarcerated individuals, are safe. That they have, one of my passions was making sure that they had programs that they were able to, not just sit while they were incarcerated, but actually engage them and prepare them to
For getting out.
Exactly, for re-entry. Exactly.
So it sounds like you were leading a huge budget,
Yes.
a huge staff,
Yes.
and then on top of that, you were responsible for lives.
Exactly. And I might add, there was a time during COVID when we didn't know what was going to happen externally outside of the jail, right? Just think about that for a moment and think about the lives that you're responsible for inside the walls.
And how many people were incarcerated in Broward County jails?
Approximately 4,000.
4,000,
Yes.
4,000 people
Yes.
of varying degrees of
levels of incarceration.
Exactly.
Exactly. About 80% of the population are what you call pretrial, and perhaps 20% are from, they're going back and forth to court. Maybe they've already been sentenced, but varying levels. You have those that are spending a year or less, and then you have those, like I said, that may have been sentenced and are going back and forth to court. We did have a handful of juveniles as well. We had females, so just, across the board, you're responsible for just about every level. Exactly.
And so what was that like for you as a woman in command?
When I ask that question, I gravitate toward my response is it's already a difficult, a challenging career field, but you have to think about it as a woman, it's a male-dominated career. So you have to put forth that extra effort. You have to put forth that extra, do your due diligence in terms of getting the earning, not just getting, because it's not given. You have to earn that respect.
Yes.
As a woman in a male-dominated field.
And how did you go about doing that?
I think as a leader, for me, if you don't care about the people first, then you don't deserve to be a leader. So my mantra was servant leadership all day long, all day long. So once you identify who your core team, you empower them, you encourage them to lead, because I also believe that leaders build other leaders.
Yes.
You have to make sure that
replicate yourself.
right.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that people are actually following you and want to follow you. Is it always easy? No, it's not. Is everyone on the team going to be on the same page? No, that's in a perfect scenario. But if you give them the empowerment and give them the opportunity to be who they are and meet them where they are and encourage them and support them to be the leaders that you know that they can be, then you gain buy-in from the majority of the team. And that, at the end of the day, that's really what you need, the buy-in from the majority.
Yeah, and really taking good care of your people, right?
Exactly.
What would you say your number one leadership challenge was, and how did you navigate it?
It was a specific time frame. I would say during COVID.
During COVID, yeah.
Definitely.
I could see that.
It was difficult to be in charge of anything during COVID.
Yeah.
But you can imagine being in charge of those who were incarcerated, not knowing. There was no playbook for COVID in the jail. So we were, calling around and making sure that best practices were, that we were engaged in best practices, but we were also sharing with other organizations what we were doing, and in turn, we were learning from each other. It was a very, very difficult time. It was a very, very challenging time, but, with the buy-in from the majority of the team, we were able to come together and get it done.
So it sounds like challenging translates into stress, translates into lots of late nights, translates perhaps into maybe some public and private conversations that felt really real, right?
Definitely.
As a leader and a woman of faith, how did you keep yourself grounded? How did you keep your cup full so you can give from your overflow?
I keep my family keeps me grounded. They keep it real for me. They come home and I'm in my full Colonel uniform. Ma, what's for dinner? So they definitely keep me grounded. But no, my faith is at the forefront of my leadership. And it hasn't always been that way, but as I evolved as a leader, I had to trust him more. I learned to trust him more because like, what else are you leaning on? You certainly can't lean on your own understanding, you know, when you're leading people and when you're responsible for people. So for me, part of my evolution was learning to trust him more, learning to go to him with big decisions, not making them on my own, not making them based on how I felt, you know, in my feelings or how things looked, but what was the right thing to do, not just in society's eyes, but in his eyes.
But in his eyes.
Exactly.
When we come back, I want to explore that a little bit. I'm curious about how you felt or how you experienced your leadership before you decided to surrender.
Yes.
And then how you experienced it once you made that decision.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll be right back.
Hey, if you are a high-achieving woman out here doing all the things right, but still feeling stuck, stop. I mean it. I want you to stop for a minute. I am literally right here sitting on a couch in Salt Lake City with this gorgeous view behind me, and I am thinking about how many of us are out here praying for clarity, but still operating out of alignment. Ladies, you don't need more discipline. You don't need another planner. What you need is to know exactly what's holding you back. Your mindset, your leadership habits, your systems, or even your personal brand. My Freedom 90 scorecard will tell you in 2 minutes exactly what it is. It's free, it's fast, and it's going to show you how to realign so that you can walk into 2026 with peace and with purpose. Go ahead, take it now. Don't guess, get clarity.
And we're back with Josefa Benjamin. So before the break, we were talking about your leadership and how it evolved once you learned how to trust God. So talk to me about how you experienced it before you made that decision and then how it became for you once you made that decision.
So before fully surrendering, I would say decisions were based on what's in front of you, how you feel, your feelings, your own understanding. And a lot of times you would just make a lot of unnecessary mistakes because you're relying on your own thinking, and the team as well. But with no spiritual guidance, a lot of decisions are based on how you feel, right? How you feel, what you think, what you know to be true. And while all of that is necessary, once you have that in the package without going to him for spiritual guidance, again, for me, it just felt like a lot of unnecessary mistakes. And especially toward the end of my career, when we talked about the challenges during COVID and so on and so forth, we don't have time to make unnecessary mistakes.
Especially when lives are depending on you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now,
I get it.
Yeah, it's like, not to say that when you surrender, that mistakes aren't still made. Of course they are, because it's a constant learning process and it's a constant evolution. But the key is unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Yeah. The weight of it is
Why
different.
make it harder on yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So I can honestly say that after surrender, just making that decision, because it is a decision at the end of the day. We can continue to bump around in the dark, and we can continue to just, lean on our own understanding, or we can surrender. But once I made the decision to just go ahead and surrender.
That's my experience too. I found freedom in my leadership once I made that decision too. And yes, you still have challenges, right?
Of course.
Because look at the world that we're living now.
Yes,
As a
of
leader,
course.
There's a lot of challenges.
Yes.
But I found for me real freedom in that surrender, so that no matter what the consequence or whatever the outcome, it's not on me.
Exactly.
I don't have to carry
Take it up with him.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not on me. And then I know that all things work together for my good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And once you start embracing those principles, like use the word freedom, and I totally agree, but it's also a peace that comes with it. Right?
Yes.
It's also a peace that comes with it. And you can lay your head on the pillow at night and know that you made the right decision, the best decision, whether it be related to a policy, whether it be related to people, a budget. You have peace with the decision.
I love that. And I know you retired.
Yes.
And then you started your nonprofit.
Yes.
Why Born on Purpose?
So I actually started the nonprofit in 2014. So it was on paper.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, do you know what? That's true. I remember us talking
Tell me
about that. Yes.
So
me, you, and Colleen had that conversation. Yeah.
Exactly. So he gave me Born on Purpose in 2014. I did everything I needed to do as far as the, applying for it and the technical aspect, but I hadn't surrendered. So I didn't do anything with it. Right?
Wow.
I was obedient. I knew enough to be obedient to just start it on paper.
Right.
But then it just sat, and I really didn't do a whole lot with it. I had the Christian clothing line at the same time, and I was making Christian T-shirts and so on and so forth. But without the full surrender, the idea, the vision, it didn't manifest. It just sat. And actually, I ran for my purpose for quite a number of years.
Wow.
And again, the organization just sat. So it wasn't until maybe about 4 years ago is when, go back to making that decision to surrender, is when doors just started flying
You know
open.
what? I actually remember you and I having a conversation on the phone all about that.
Really? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so powerful.
Yeah. And it's like he almost wanted to make it clear that this is, now you're ready now? Okay, I'll meet you where you are.
Wow.
Once I said, okay, Lord, what is it that you want me to do? Because I got physically, emotionally, mentally tired of running from the purpose. And I said, okay, Lord, what is it that you want me to do? And from there, he wanted to make it evident that it was him, and doors just started flying open.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when you really know.
Yes.
That's when you really know that you're walking in purpose.
Yes.
Is after surrendering, things just start to fall into
Shifting,
place
exactly,
and shifting,
exactly.
and they feel right. And even if it feels like you hit a brick wall, you still feel right.
Because all things work together for the good.
I love that. So tell me about the Born on Purpose project.
I would love to. That's my favorite subject. Besides talking about my children, of course.
Yeah.
So the Born on Purpose project, like I said, was started in 2014, and our mission is to guide others on the journey to discover their own God-given purpose. And we do so through community engagement, through our mentorship program, which is ROPES, the acronym ROPES, Retired on Purpose Extending Service, where we target retirees to remain in service to the community through mentorship.
Powerful.
Yeah. You don't have to be retired to be a mentor, but that's our target group. And we're solving an issue for the community. We're solving two problems, actually. We're allowing retirees to remain in service, but then we're also providing a pipeline of viable mentors for the community, because just about any organization that relies on mentors, they all pretty much have the same issue. We need more mentors.
Right.
So we're creating that pipeline.
I love that. So you have ROPES, you have the community engagement, and then you have an amazing event that just ended. Hello.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So that's Brunch on Purpose, and we talked about the surrender about 4 years ago. So throughout my career, just going back for a moment, throughout my career, gravitated toward working with the youth, which there's still in my heart to do so. But about 4 years ago, God shifted things a bit, and I felt this compelling burden. I call it blessed with a burden to honor public service professionals, right? Direct service professionals, whether it be teachers, case managers, nurses, you get the idea. And we had our first event, Brunch on Purpose, and the title was simply Honoring Women in Public Service. The theme was taking care of ourselves as we take care of the community.
I love that.
And 250 women showed up to our first brunch. Just blew my mind. So I said, okay, Lord, we must be on to something, must be resonating with the community. So we did it again, and the second year, the theme was stronger together. So just encouraging collaboration between private sector, nonprofits for the greater good of the community. And 350 women showed up to that event. So by the third and fourth year, we had outgrown the initial space that we had the initial brunch in. And just October 4th, we had our fourth annual, and the theme was Project Reset, Self-Care is Mental Health in Motion. And we actually had to cap it at 500 individuals because we opened it up to men. And my heart's desire for those events is that, yes, they're entertaining and fun, but the goal is impact. So we are actually creating a space to continue the Project Reset theme, promoting self-care among service professionals, and we're doing so at our venue, which is the Purpose Hub, the Born on Purpose Hub.
The Born on Purpose Hub, which is a gorgeous venue. I've used it for events and team meetings.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful, and you have a podcast studio in that space too, right?
We do, and I'm starting my own podcast, and I just wrote a book. I can't.
Wait, back up. Tell me about the book.
So I can't believe I didn't bring it with me today. I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to come back.
Yes, you have to come back. Tell me about the book real quick.
So the book is titled You're So Full of It. And what are you full of? Purpose, promise, and potential. And that's the same name. The podcast has the same name. You're so full of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so I have this mantle of creating a space for others to walk into their purpose, not only identify it, but walk in it and live in it. So I'm just continuing. I'm through obedience. I know He's going to continue to provide, and I'm going to continue to do.
I love it. How do you pour into your own self?
My family. My family.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time with my family. A lot of alone time reading. Just putting my feet up. Just putting my feet up. I've definitely learned how to turn it off.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's a challenge sometimes.
It is.
It's a challenge sometimes, but it's important. And as you're saying that, you're actually speaking to me too. I get to
turn it off.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
And self-care looks so different for so many people. Someone may love to go to the beach. I may not necessarily. But if I can just, literally put my feet up with a cup of coffee and a good book and just take an hour or two, out of my week or my day, that's self-care for me.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's so beautiful. We'll be right back with Josefa Benjamin to continue the conversation.
Hey, if you are a high-achieving woman out here doing all the things right, but still feeling stuck, stop. I mean it. I want you to stop for a minute. I am literally right here sitting on a couch in Salt Lake City with this gorgeous view behind me, and I am thinking about how many of us are out here praying for clarity, but still operating out of alignment. Ladies, you don't need more discipline. You don't need another planner. What you need is to know exactly what's holding you back. Your mindset, your leadership habits, your systems, or even your personal brand. My Freedom 90 scorecard will tell you in 2 minutes exactly what it is. It's free, it's fast, and it's going to show you how to realign so that you can walk into 2026 with peace and with purpose. Go ahead, take it now. Don't guess. get clarity.
We're back with retired Colonel Josefa Benjamin, entrepreneur,
Yes,
right? Nonprofit
yes.
leader. So I'm curious, Josefa, as a part of my leadership, having a spiritual practice is really what keeps me grounded. What do you do to keep yourself grounded?
I have to start my day with my devotional. There's so many ways that God talks to us, and I could be experiencing something, let's say from the night before or during the course of the week or days before, and it never fails. I will open that devotional and it will be exactly.
Trust and believe, right?
It's like I'm looking around for candid camera. It'll be an answer to what I was either thinking about or praying about. So to answer your question, I start my day with a particular devotional. I have 2 or 3, but there's one in particular that I start my day with. Part of my practice as well is just, again, that being still. Being still. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of distractions, but you have to take that time to be still to hear his voice.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of good ideas around us, but we don't know if it's his idea. And you don't want to be off track because, like we said earlier, who has time to make unnecessary mistakes or be outside of my lane thinking I'm doing a good thing when it's not what he has for me to do.
Yeah.
And then another way is I love music. I think our spirituality is connected to our personality. So don't try to be too different from who you actually are. I enjoy music, so I listen to my worship, my gospel, all genres, whether it be hip hop or any type of gospel that I would normally listen to in the past. Secular music, I listen to that version of gospel. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I love Lecrae.
Right, exactly.
I love it, yeah.
Exactly.
And I just discovered that you can find blues and gospel and hip hop and
house
gospel,
music
house
and
music and
gospel.
yeah.
Exactly.
Just as long as the message is good, you can still rock to the beat, right?
From my opinion, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, you said something that I thought was really interesting that I want to explore a little bit. You said that sometimes there's a good thing and there's a God thing, right?
Right.
And having the discernment to be able to tell the difference is really important. That's me. All right, give me 1 second. Listen, guys, this is real life, right? So, no, we're not going to cut. This is real life. So I happen to be a type 2 diabetic, and I have yet to eat. So this is telling me that my blood sugar is low. But it's a good thing that we're almost at the end of our conversation.
We can eat after this.
So the difference between good thing and God thing, and having the discernment to tell the difference. How are you able to tell the difference between a good thing and a God thing?
It's not always easy, but like I said a few moments ago, you have to be still.
Right.
Don't jump at every idea that's presented to you. You simply have to ask him, Lord, what is it? Like if you're in relationship with him, right? It's just like a natural relationship. How do you get to know someone? You have to spend time with them. So if you're not sitting at his feet, or if you're not in constant conversation with him, it'll be harder to hear his voice. You know, I get proposals all the time in terms of business proposals or individuals that may want to work with Born on Purpose. But it's so important for me to operate in my purpose and operate in my lane, the thing that he wants me to do. Not what Josefa wants to do, because again, we don't have that kind of time. I personally don't have that kind of time to make those unnecessary mistakes, being outside of my lane, outside of my purpose, outside of my calling. So to answer the question, just being still.
Being still.
Yeah, making sure you're in relationship with him and being still enough to hear his voice. Yes.
Those are beautiful, powerful words of wisdom. Thank you so much for being our guest today. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, Colonel Benjamin, Josefa, thank
Yes.
you for your service, your leadership, your dedication, and your unwavering commitment to helping others find their God-given purpose. I really know that God is using you in a powerful way, and I can't wait to see what unfolds for you next. We definitely have to have you back to talk about the book for sure.
It'll be my pleasure.
So I want to help you to make the next step in your own journey. And so I want to gift you a Freedom 90 scorecard just as a gift. It's a simple but powerful tool that's going to help you see where you are walking right now, if you're in alignment or not, and where you may need to realign your faith, your focus, or your flow to live more fully in purpose. So I want you to scan the QR code on the screen or text the word Freedom 90 to 545454 to get instant access. Because living on purpose, as Josefa said, really starts with knowing where you are right now, and I want to help you get there. This is my gift to you. I am Melissa P. Dunn, and this has been the Dunn Wisdom Show, where faith meets focus and wisdom meets real life. Until next time, remember, your purpose is your power, so walk boldly in it. Walk good, my friends. See you next time.